People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
I would love to grab a cup of coffee with Miss Vida Winter from the 13th Tale. Miss Winter is this dark, mysterious author who lives in the middle of nowhere in this giant Gothic mansion all by herself. And every year she invites a new journalist to her mansion where she promises that she will reveal the true story of her life. And every year she tells a new fairy tale, so no one really knows who she is. So for my cup of coffee with Miss Winter, I would love to give it a shot, try to figure out who she was, but also just learn what she has to say about me. Miss Winter is really a knower of people, so I bet she would be able to tell me more about my life just from meeting me for a few minutes than I would ever be able to know about her. So yeah.
I would choose to grab a coffee with Jack the Ripper. I know that he's not technically a character, but I just read so much about him and his crimes these past couple of days that I just have this desire to figure out, okay, but who was he? Obviously, I would choose like a very populated place because, safety numbers. And I would also grab tea because I don't drink coffee.
Definitely be Dracula.
Come here.
I feel like you would have the best conversation with him and he would have so many stories to tell.
If I could have a cup of coffee with a Gothic writer, that would have to be Michelle Paver. Please, if you hear this, come on over, have a cup of coffee with me, teach me all your tricks, please.
Meanwhile, three days later.
If I could have coffee with one Gothic character, I definitely know who this would be. And this might surprise people, but it would be with Allison, Allie from The Breakfast Club. She was badass. She shows up for Saturday detention and she didn't even do anything. And she's just such a rebel. Even though she feels like an outcast, she learns that everybody feels like an outcast. Even if you look perfect, there are things that are actually not perfect in your life as well. So I would love to grab coffee with Ali Sheedy. That's my answer. And my favorite genre, if I had to choose, would be literary fiction. I find that if you give me a list of all the Man Booker Prize winners or nominees, that I will pretty much love everyone.
Nice.
But I have to say, I have learned a lot about other genres, and I'm really happy that I've taken the time to get to know other genres. And maybe the surprise genre would be that I have started to cultivate an appreciation for military fiction. And I've cultivated this because I wanted to try to connect with my dad on a deeper level. And so I ask him what books he reads, and then I'll read his favorite books and we can talk about it, because he doesn't really talk to me too much about being in the military. And so I find that reading some of the same books together, I can get insight into his life and connect with him on that level. So one book that we've shared is called The Odyssey of Echo Company, and it's a story about Vietnam. So, and it reflects, one of his experiences there. So that's just one example. And I also got into an author named Krista Hanna. Also because it's one of my mom's favorite authors, and so my mom and I could read these books together while they live in the States and I live in Denmark, and so we could have this sort of family book club in a way and talk about what we love about the stories and characters.
Your will is strong and healthy.
One eternity later.
More effective than Wolfbane, Count. Indeed.
My favorite genre has to be dystopian fiction. I love how these seemingly unrelated dystopian futures that seem so far off and so scary can make us realize so many things about the real society that we're actually currently living in. Yeah, I just find them super interesting. So dystopia, but Gothic is definitely a close runner-up.
Do I have to say it? I feel like everybody who knows me knows this by now, like wholeheartedly. Everybody knows what my favorite genre is, or they can easily figure it out based on how much I love certain stuff. But if I must say it, I will say it. So, my favorite genre is horror. I absolutely, wholeheartedly, 100% adore horror. I don't know why, but I do. And that will never, ever change.
I like most genres, but my by far favorite is fantasy.
I'm not really sure that I have a favorite genre. I really love reading young adult and romantic novels. But when I write, it always gets very suspenseful.
They'll always be right here, and I love to sing 2 songs to you because you are so dear.